What's up Saab fans around the world, and welcome back to another video. In today's video we will do quite a bit of a controversial modification to the car, and this is something that I've just spontaneously looked into and decided to just go for it. So we will start off by just pulling the car into the garage, and I will explain the modification a little bit more into detail. So this will be the last time you will see the 9.5 with the OEM hood intact, because today we are going to cut it, and it's for a reason. It's just not because I want to cut it, but this hood right here, I wet sanded the shit out of this paint and I destroyed the paint a little bit. So it has a few marks in the paint that you can see right here. It also has been sanded through. So of course you could repaint the hood, but it has a little bit of dents and stuff like that. So I want to do a modification that I have been looking for a little while, but just recently I got the idea to actually do it. And it's to install hood vents onto the hood. Previously I thought it has been like not so cool, but you see a lot of people that does it just for the looks, and it's placed shitty on the hood, or in the worst case it's just like a sticker on that they just put on top of the hood, which looks extremely haggard to say the least. So I went ahead, I bought 4 pieces of louvers or hood vents on Amazon, and I didn't want to have them black like ABS plastic, so I went ahead and made them out of forged carbon or chopped carbon, and this has not really cured yet. I just recently clear coated them today, and there has been a ton of sanding and stuff involved, so I'm going to be a little bit careful with them. But the reason that I'm doing this, okay, so let me just put the camera on the stand. So to start off, before any Saab purist gets a heart attack, as I said, this hood is pretty beaten up. In Sweden you could get like a used hood for like 500, which is not a lot, like 50 bucks or something like that in the US. So it's very easy to replace, and I have for a long time wanted to do like a full carbon hood, but now we are going to focus on this and do this modification right here. So start off by going up into the front area. Of course now you can't see this, but you have seen the build a couple of times. So in the front bump, or in the front, we have the big intercooler, which here we will get a lot of cold air in. The air that's being blown from the turbo up into the intake is being cooled down by the intercooler. Then the air will continue in through the oil cooler and through the radiator, and on the radiator we have fans that will suck air out from the radiator or suck out the heat. So the heat will end up in the engine bay, and in the engine bay of course we have the engine, we have the big turbo sitting on top, which is not like it is on the stock car. We have the big exhaust manifold, which is also not on a stock car. So this car will generate a lot more heat than a stock car will. And hot air will always want to rise. So when the air is being sucked into the engine bay and we have the hood closed, you have like a weather seal up here, and OEM there's a seal in front of the hood. All of this will keep the heat inside of the engine bay. So you would think that the heat would transfer underneath the car. It won't. Of course some of it will, but as I said, hot air will try to rise at all cost, and these fans will suck the air out. And here we have the engine, so the air will go up right here. So we will put these louvers, one that's pretty close to the front of the bonnet and one that's a little bit longer up. So we will have ventilation for a longer area on the hood. And I think this will lower the temperature quite a bit. Of course, nothing dramatic, but since it will vent out the air, the radiator will have a much easier job to do, because when you have the hood closed as it is right now, it will just trap the hot air inside of the engine bay, and this will create like a back pressure. So the radiator or the fans will try to suck the air in, but they will have resistance from the hot air that's already inside of the engine bay. So ventilating it out will make the radiator work a lot easier. It will cool down the turbo, it will cool down the engine block, and with a colder engine and cooler air, we all know that the performance will be better as well. So it's just not for the looks, it actually serves a purpose as well. So we will start off right now by just wiping off the hood a little bit with some isopropanol or some prime, and then we will start to tape out and lay out the hood vents where I want to place them. So now we got the hood taped up, so now we're just gonna place them out approximately where I want them. And in this case it will be like, you really want to be sure that you have placed them in the right spot before you start to cut. It's easier to remove material than it is to add material, for sure. So I think I wanted something like this. You can see that the vents itself, they have like a straight line in the upper area, and then it's a little bit tilted downwards. And I think I want the edge to follow along with this line right here. So it will go something like that. And then I thought, so that we have like a design cue that it follows something, that we will have like two louvers that goes in past the other. I think this could look pretty cool. And as I said, it's to ventilate hot air out of the engine, and if it looks a little bit sporty, that's just a big bonus on while we're doing this. So of course now they're laying on top of the hood, but when they will be installed down, and I've seen a lot of installations, they have glued them in place, they have used the double-sided tape that's supplied, but we actually going to use the double-sided tape and rivet them in so they will sit really sturdy. Of course they will not fly away because there won't be any pressure, but of the wind drag. And that is also one bonus. So while the hot air is being vented out, the air that goes above the hood will take the hot air with it and pass it along over the roof. So I will do a bit of measuring, and then we will come back when I have the final placement where I want them to be. So I think this is the final placement. I have taped off with blue masking tape where there should be, and I also got wifey's approval of the placement, so it's always nice to have like a second opinion, because you could easily get blind when you try to do this yourself. So I guess now it's just remove the vents and start cutting. And I also noticed that these vents, they themselves are not like 100% straight on the sides, so I need to cut the hole a little bit bigger than the blue tape, but it should be pretty close. So it's better to just cut once, see if it fits, then cut again. So now we're going to start by drilling a hole in each corner and then start to cut. And I have lifted up the bonnet a little bit, put under two buckets right here so we get it up a little bit, and I put a blanket on top of the engine bay and a blanket against the windshield, so we protect things a little bit. As you can see right here, a bit of the cutting will interfere with the structure underneath, so this is just to cut out as well. Same goes here, so this piece right here has to go, maybe not all of it, but most of it. So it's just continue to cutting. A bit scary, but still fun. So now the cuts are done, and I won't lie, this was a bit scary, but I guess it's just getting used to it, because I have plans to cut into way much more expensive cars than this, but we will see about that. So right now let's see if the hood vents actually fit. Hang on, just falls into place. This one's a bit tight, but I think it will fit. So does this, so looks very good. The thing right now is that the hood is pretty bent, so you can see that these flex a little bit. So that's why we want to rivet them down. Of course the rivets will be affecting the visual effect of it, but just to have like double-sided tape, the parts will flex a bit. So I think I will go, in the first place I thought that I would like to have 6 rivets per piece, but now when I see it like this, I think I actually will go with 4. So I will just put them in the corners. I think so, at least. Or maybe go with 6 of them so they sit in the center. I see that this one needs a bit more adjustments. But yeah, the rivets will ruin the visual effect of it all, because it will interfere with the carbon, but it's because race car. I think this will get pretty good. Now I have grinded down the edges, fine trimmed them a little bit, and also applied a bit of paint so it won't rust like the first week. So now we can remove the tape. So the first vent I just test fitted and put down with the double-sided tape, and it sits really good. There is a bit of flex in some areas, so I put some double-sided tape around this one, and this is the tape that was supplied with the vents. I mean, it sits really good. I mean, I can lift the hood with the tape. Even though it will sit just a tiny bit more snug if I rivet it in, so I really don't know. Yeah, I think I will rivet it in, because when you go from the side, you can see when it arches, it will lift up a little bit in the front, and when we get high wind pressure, it would just lift up. So I will go ahead and pull out the rivet gun, and we will put like 4 rivets in each one. So I will not rivet the middle of the vent, but the edges, the corners. turned out so sick. Okay, now the hood is not perfectly clean, but damn. It is a bit like rough with the rivets, but even though I think they blend in quite well. And the rivets are aluminum plastic, so they will not rust, and they are very easy to rivet in. And this looks just so sick. The alignment is not perfect everywhere, but from this angle it's super cool. So you will see down on the turbo, and I will pop the hood. And one common question will be, how can I wash the car? Will it not drip down water? Yes, it will drip down water, but you could wash your engine so a drip of water will not be hazardous for your engine. And when you're driving, the speed will catch all like rain. And if it's like a tsunami going over the car, of course there will be water drops inside of the engine bay. But as I said, it's not really an issue. This is probably something you should not do to your like daily driver. But you can see I have a massive turbo that needs to get rid of the hot air. So this is a perfect way to do it. So we will see how it holds up actually, because in the base of this it's ABS plastic. So you will see if it melts or not. And I have put on this reflective tape that's like heat reflective. I will do this a little bit better. This was just a quick mock-up, so I will finish the edges a little bit nicer and everything. But I think this came out just so sick. And the thing right now is this lighting is something, but when the sun hits the forged carbon, it's a different story. I can show you a little bit with the flashlight. So as you see, it looks like a dirty part, but when the sun hits, it would just glossen up and you will see the carbon like sparkle. Yeah. It was a bit scary to cut into the hood, but I think it turned out really sick. And it wasn't like my car was a sleeper from the beginning. We had this big like air ducts into the engine and the big front mount intercooler. So this just enhances the look, I think. Pretty dope. So that's it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. This was a sick video to make, and I think the result came out quite insane, to say the least. So this will be so fun to take out to the streets, take a couple of pictures, drive the car. The turbo sounds, the whistles will be even more pronounced right now. Super stoked. So if you have any questions, leave a comment down below. And please subscribe to the channel, it means a lot to me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!